Good evening. It's good to have you here with us. I'm Tim Pham. All year long, we've seen that after holidays, a big spike in coronavirus cases follows. And another spike is feared following this Thanksgiving holiday as well. So just how big could that spike be? Our Casey Decker looked into the data.
You probably remember one of the first big spikes of the pandemic happening right after Memorial Day. Spokane County was cleared to enter phase 2 on that exact weekend. The result? A nearly 150% increase in COVID cases. In the 2 weeks prior to Memorial Day, the county had a combined 101 cases. In the 2 weeks after, 251. It was a similar story for the 4th of July. The 14 days before had 605 confirmed cases in Spokane County. The 14 days after, 1,023. And again for Labor Day, from 534 to 747. This spike much smaller as a percentage, possibly because people around Spokane had another incentive to stay at home. Vicious wildfires raging that weekend, causing air quality to plummet. And Halloween, of course, also caused a spike, from just over 1,200 cases to just over 2,200 in the fortnights before and after. So how bad could the spike end up being this time around? Well, there are a lot of factors at play. For one, case numbers are already the highest they've ever been, regularly more than 400 per day. Second, Thanksgiving is historically the biggest holiday for traveling, which naturally spreads disease. Although AAA estimates travel will be down by at least 10% this year compared to 2019. And a third factor, of course, is how ubiquitous large gatherings are for Thanksgiving. However, according to data analyzed by the New York Times, fewer than 20% of Washingtonians plan to celebrate with people outside of their household. That's the lowest rate in the entire country. But if we look just at the average size of a holiday spike in Spokane County, from the 4 we mentioned, it's about an 83% increase. The 2 weeks before Thanksgiving saw a total 4,038 cases locally. An 83% increase would mean in the next 2 weeks we'd get more than 7,300 cases total. Of course, it'll be a while yet before we get any actual data. In Spokane, Casey Decker, KREM 2 News.
For anyone worried about an exposure on or around Thanksgiving, you should wait until next week to be tested, sometime around December 1st. And looking ahead towards Christmas, if you plan to gather around the tree and want to be extra safe, everyone who plans to attend should quarantine for 14 days ahead of the 25th. And that means you should begin avoiding other people on December 11th. Well, the holiday weekend is coming to an end, and we couldn't have asked for more beautiful weather. Meteorologist Michelle Boss is reporting live from home tonight. Michelle, it sounds like tomorrow morning, though, much different story. The rain and snow return. How much of an impact will this have on the morning commute?
It's going to kind of depend on where you are. For the timing of this storm, it looks like central Washington is going to see that earlier onset of the rain and snow. So as we take a look at Future Tracker to kind of time it out, this is 8 o'clock in the morning, and you can see for the most part, Spokane and Coeur d'Alene still relatively quiet. So if you're out the door between 6 and 8 in the morning, you'll probably avoid it here locally. But in central Washington, from Moses Lake on up northward, you can see some slick roads in that 6 to 8 o'clock time period. As we kind of move forward, here's 10 o'clock in the Spokane area, where most of us have already gotten where we need to be, but we could see some light rain and snow moving in through the area and turning more to rain showers as we get to the early afternoon period, with the snow continuing in those higher elevations. So the morning commute here in Spokane will probably be okay with that later onset of the snow in our area. All right, satellite and radar picture showing quiet conditions right now. We have mostly clear skies with the exception of Omak. They've kind of been socked in the clouds all day. Sorry guys, you didn't get into the sunlight. Right now we've got temperatures in the mid-30s in Spokane, 36 in Moses Lake, 40 in Lewiston. We're looking at one more mild day tomorrow, where we should make it up to around 40 degrees, but it'll be kind of a chilly start with temperatures in the upper 20s. So again, some slick spots are possible early tomorrow morning. Breezy conditions for the afternoon after the rain and snow showers, high of 41 tomorrow, and then starting a long dry streak on Tuesday and Wednesday. Partly cloudy skies with the potential for fog developing, highs in the mid-30s.
Vaccines don't cure a disease. Shots in the arm cure a disease.
In the race to a vaccine, New York Senator Chuck Schumer once again called on Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to allow the HEROES Act to be discussed and voted on in the Senate. The bill will provide necessary funds to states to distribute and administer COVID-19 vaccines when they become available. In the meantime, we are expecting to learn more about the distribution of a vaccine next week. The CDC called an emergency meeting for Tuesday where they will decide who will get the vaccine first when it's approved. It's already recommended that healthcare providers and residents of long-term care facilities should get vaccinated first. Then, on December 10th, the FDA is holding a special meeting to decide if the vaccine made by Pfizer will get emergency approval. Pfizer is the only company who has applied for permission to distribute its vaccine. Well, here in Washington, health officials say that Pfizer's vaccine should be available to first responders in high-risk fields by mid-December. The state is initially expecting a little over 62,000 doses. By the end of December, the state expects to have 200,000 doses of the Pfizer vaccine to distribute.